Now we're going to end this TEDx event with our final speaker of the day, Miguel Angel. He was born in April 3rd, 2008 in Mexico City. Since childhood, his curiosity and eagerness to learn led him to explore the world through the eyes of art and creativity. His love for understanding the whys and wherefores of things and life itself has led him to express his ideas through artistic expressions such as writing, acting, and dance. However, the environment in which he grew up sometimes hindered his creativity, causing every challenge to be part of his growth. And thanks to that, today he is free, authentic, resilient, and passionate person he is, embracing every opportunity to excel in different artistic endeavors and express his essence. TEDxColegio Merici Youth, Beyond Boundaries, is the platform where Miguel Angel wants to contribute his part and inspire young people and adults to realize their ability despite any chains, ties, or fears to achieve their goals and objectives and recognize their true worth. The title of his talk today is Self-Imposed Limits. Please welcome Miguel Angel Santinelli, Turkey.
It's curious how most of us dream of doing extraordinary things, yet we feel afraid to achieve them. It's like an inner voice saying, "You can't do it, don't even try." Do you imagine Michael Jordan saying this to himself before scoring a three-point basket to win for the Bulls the NBA title? No, he just scored and did it. This talk, it's not just about identifying that fear. It's about challenging it and proving to the world, and most importantly to ourselves, that we can do it because we are the most important person in our world. The barriers we face are often invisible, but not less real. Or have you ever seen that literal wall in front of you? From a young age, we leave every single comment directed to ourselves. Comments like, "You're not good at this," "You don't fit," change our perceptions of what we can or cannot achieve. Some comments like, "You don't count," "You're not good at this," turn into the blocks that build those barriers. But what if those barriers didn't exist? What if we could tear them down? Let's also talk about the feeling of insecurity. That tightness in your chest. Whenever you think about an interview, an exam, or simply showing something of ourselves that has been ridiculized in the past, that insecurity comes in the form of a voice here in your ear, saying that you can do it, that you shouldn't even try. But what if we ignore that voice and instead of listening to it, we responded with, "I can do it, I am enough." Let's imagine an airplane that needs to overcome air resistance to take off. Let's imagine that we are like that airplane. With enough momentum, we can rise. That momentum comes from security and perseverance, although there's one very big challenge: the air resistance, fear and doubt. But with enough momentum, as I said, we could fly. Another example are the bees, our besties, who scientifically are known that they're not supposed to fly. But look at them, flying around and doing one of the most important jobs in the world. Why can't we all be just like bees and ignore what everyone else says? Although the biggest challenge isn't finding external expectations. It's about the internal narrative we build of ourselves. According to a study done in 2020, prevalence, predictors, and study of imposter syndrome showed that over 70% of people suffer from imposter syndrome at least once in their lives. Could you imagine? Imposter syndrome basically means when you achieve a goal, it doesn't matter how important it is. The problem is that you don't believe that you're capable of doing it and you don't deserve it? What if instead of listening to it, we thought for a moment, insecurity doesn't discriminate. It affects students, teachers, professionals, the greatest and most wonderful person you could ever imagine, and anyone who dares to dream. One of the most common reasons we put limits on ourselves is the fear of failure. But failure isn't the end. Failure is actually just another tool for learning. No, actually, it's the tool for learning. Thomas Alva Edison once said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. I learned 1,000 ways how not to make a light bulb." If he had taken his failures as definitive, he wouldn't have illuminated the world. Failures are goals and accomplishments come from a big pile of failures. Another factor is self-complacency, which basically means to always stay in your comfort zone. According to a study by Yale University, your brain, and by extent, your nervous system, prefer familiar and comfortable patterns. Good or not, they don't know that, because it consumes less energy than it should. A wise woman once told me when I felt insecure that we live in a cycle of repetition, expecting different results without changing anything. If you're always in your comfort zone, that is self-complacency. But a simple but effective technique is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Whenever you feel the urge to act, but your body simply doesn't respond or your mind goes blank, count backwards from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! And then act before your mind convinces you otherwise. If you're feeling a little bit skeptic about this, let's play a game. A kind of Simon Says game. Whenever I reach to 1, I'm going to count backwards. Whenever I reach to 1, you're all going to do the action proposed. First, we're all going to stand up when I reach to 1, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, please. Thank you. Now, we're all going to do a jump. If you can't jump, just raise your hand in the air and lower them. If you're jumping, jump as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump. And now, we're all going to boogie at the rhythm of the music. At my key, DJ. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, hey, hey,
Thank you, everyone. You may all sit down. Although I saw some of you who didn't dance or didn't put enough enthusiasm to their dancing, I want you to analyze everyone around you. Look at them. Everyone was dancing, clapping, and shouting. Why couldn't you do it? Everyone here present has barriers, but they were capable of breaking it. That doesn't mean that you can't. That only means that you need to act before your mind convinces you otherwise. This exercise was an example for a small change in decision making. Believe me, that's how I can wake up early every morning and getting out of bed without falling asleep again. Another key to breaking limits is surrounding yourself with people who inspire and support you. As Jim Rohn, the American businessman, motivational speaker, and author, once said, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If you surround yourself with people who constantly challenge themselves, that mindset will be contagious. Talking about mindsets, a study done by psychological science showed that people with a positive mindset are 40% more capable of achieving their dreams. This study was published by Carol Dweck specifically. She said that our abilities can grow by effort and learning. Basically, a coco wash. Don't you know what a coco wash is? A coco wash is an idea with a purpose, usually positive, that you repeat in your mind over and over and over and over until it becomes a reality. Basically, your brain turns it into a belief. So, whenever you don't believe in yourself, say to yourself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And you will be able to achieve everything. Basically, self-brainwashing. A very good example of this brainwashing is Oprah Winfrey. She is one of the most important women in the world, although at her first reporting job, she was fired because her boss said she didn't have enough to be in television. Excuse me? If she had believed that fact as an opinion, she wouldn't have changed millions of lives and turned into one of the most influential women in the world, capable of changing everything. Queen Oprah once said, "The biggest challenge and adventure you could ever take, it's living the life of your dreams." Breaking your limits doesn't mean doing something monumental right away. It's about moving one step at a time. Take Stephen King, for example. He wrote his first novels, Carrie and Silent Flute, while working as a teacher at university. Although he faced content rejection, he's now one of the most recognized authors in the world. It's easy to turn goals into smaller steps. It's something that scientists recommend. It's a study actually published by Stanford University if you ever want to look it up. For example, if you want to speak in a broad audience just like me, you should first start practicing in front of a mirror, then in front of a friend, later into a small group of people, and finally in front of a very and beautiful big audience just like y'all today present. Another good method is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy was published by Albert Bandura. It means that you have the ability, it means the amount of resilience and persistence you have while facing through rejection and adversity. Cultivating confidence is essential in breaking our limits. Speaking of limits, Tiger Woods once said, "Always do a 1% more. If today you're doing 10 push-ups, tomorrow do 11. Because, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, insecurities can't take control of you. Only you have the ability to make others make you feel bad without your consent." So, I've been learning all of this my entire life. But not until 10th grade, I came into realization of all of this. A very good example were my old teachers. They didn't believe in me. And if they, by casualty, did, they didn't show enough proof to that. When you're living in a toxic environment, or you just don't feel happy, you can't flourish as you're supposed to. I am the right example of that. Now, I am part of the student committee. When I used to have grades of 6, 7s, and by miracle an 8, I have excellent grades. I have a lot of lovely and very beautiful friends who inspire and help me every day to be better. But I used to be bullied back then. Your environment affects your self-esteem in many different ways. But why is self-esteem so important for you to achieve your goals? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it actually does. No one can make you believe anything if you don't believe it yourself. A very famous phrase that I've always heard is, "Créetela, por favor." It basically means to believe in yourself no matter what, because it doesn't matter if your mother tells you, "You're incredible at this." It doesn't matter if your teachers say, "You know the script so well." It doesn't matter if you don't have security in yourselves. And the only way to change that is to change your environment. And the only one with that ability, it's you. So now, I would like you all to close your eyes for a moment and imagine how your life would be if you overcame one barrier. It doesn't have to be something monumental, just a small step towards the dream you've been putting up all this time. Now, open your eyes and say to yourself, I can do it. I've decided to raise moments by standing here and speaking to all of you in this TEDx. Everyone deserves the chance to live their dreams and get better. But the only one with that ability, it's you. So please, go out there and make the world a better place. The proof that I've broken my limits is that I'm standing here in front of all of you. But there's one last thing I need to do before I feel myself complete, and that I felt that I've achieved all my goals, till right now, of course. It's leaving everything in this little squishy. I'm going to leave my insecurities, my fears, my anxiety, my embarrassment, and my procrastination, all in this little squishy. Because I don't need them anymore. They're just like the training wheels on a bicycle. Although they're a very good support, they are a constant reminder that we have limits. So now, I want you all to believe in yourselves. Think about everything you've done in your lives. Go out there, follow your dreams, because, let's be honest, you all have them. So, do it today, do it for all, and most importantly, and never forget it, do it for you. Thank you, everyone.